this morning?
It was excellent this morning. Actually, broke away from a wee bit of which would generally be a normal Friday, which is quite light, bit of shape and stuff. But beforehand, they did some work just to get another session with the 20s and some of the first team boys, just to get himself really kind of just some extra work. He feels he needs extra work within the group, so I was pleased for him to go and do that, and then he came over and joined us afterwards, so looking great. Aye, the most pleasing thing for me is he looks happy. You know, he looks happy, and you could see yesterday when he trained with us, we trained at a real high intensity yesterday as well. It was a demanding session, and you could see him growing into it, not just physically in terms of his game. It was actually his speaking and feeling, almost looking as if he was just within the fabric of the team. So today I saw that some more, and that's really pleasing. And that's one of the things that I'll say about my group. The group are very welcoming, they're very tight knit, and you know, it's good for them to come into that type of dressing room.
What do you expect from them between now and the rest of the season?
I expect from him to give us a huge level of ability in the central back positions, because he's a top class defender. He's quick. You can see with his physical presence that he's powerful. He's aggressive. He's an organiser. Clearly, he's a leader. But I think that'll progress as he's here. I don't expect him to hit the top level. I said that yesterday. I don't expect him to hit top level for a few weeks yet, and he says that himself. But what is good for him is I'm not putting that pressure on him, and neither should our fans. I think he should be revered for taking the choice to come here, because he could have earned some crazy money elsewhere. But he felt after our conversation this was the right place for him. So what I expect from Steven is to add real genuine quality to our team. Now, we lost genuine quality, I believe, in Jack Hendry in that position, and I feel now that we've added to it, and that's fantastic for us, really fantastic, because looking at our performance against Ross County is really disappointing, and that's not being disrespectful to our backline, but when you lose Jack Hendry, you lose Josh Meekings, clearly there's two really important members of our defence, and not first choice. I'm just talking about defence in general, and that clearly had an impact. So to be getting those boys back to our group helps us.
Would it be a risk to throw them straight in?
It would be, yeah, but that could be a calculated risk, I would add to that, because that then has to come from those conversations between manager and player. I have to respect how he's feeling, because he hasn't played competitively since the back end of September. But I tell you, I wouldn't look at him in training and think he's off it in any way, shape or form. But again, that has to come from my respect to Steven to say how's he feeling, because you know, he's out of that, and he has to feel he's ready. And it'd be real unfair to the boy that if he's not feeling absolutely ready to go in and perform, you don't hang somebody out to dry to think, right, and then he gets judged on that performance. That's not right. So we'll talk, and if he feels he's ready, and I think he's ready to be involved, he'll be involved.
He's been fairly open in speaking about the issues that he's had in the past, Neil. As a manager, you have to make the balance once you've spoken to the person about what's happened in the past, and he's about his ability, what he can bring.
Do you know what? See regards to the past, I've no interest in speaking about the past. What I want Steven to know is that I'm here as a manager, as a friend, as a sounding board for anything he wants to talk about. I've not had one conversation with Steven about anything that's gone on in the past. The only conversations I've had with him is about football, and that's the ones that he looks as if he's most happy and enjoying speaking about, and that's all I'm interested in. That's what I promised him here, was football, getting back being a footballer, getting back in an environment where he feels he belongs somewhere, and I've given him that, and I'm so happy he's taken it, because as I said, he could have gone elsewhere, no doubt, but I think the reaction I've heard and I've seen myself of him choosing to come here was a bit of a, how did that one happen? And how it happened is because the boy's determined to just come and play football, and he's chosen us because of the conversation possibly I had with him. He felt that there was an honesty there, that we were just talking about football, and that's how I can't wait to get started with.
How did you sell him, Dundee? As you say, he had other financial offers.
He did, aye.
much greater than Dundee.
You wouldn't believe, I would imagine, some of the stuff he could have gone and earned for himself. But that, as I said yesterday, that's a mark of the man, that he's just concentrating on football. Now, the only way I could sell him here is being honest with him and saying about the group I have here, my plans for this season, how we play, how we train, how the dressing room would take to him, and really for the latter parts of what I've suggested there, they've just welcomed him in. He's come in, he's played football, he can see how we want to train, he heard how we want to play today. So I've ticked those boxes, and now it's up to Steven just to come in here and show everybody how good a player he is.
Do you think you'd be able to hold on to him for the length of the contract?
I'm not sure about that. We lost Jack Hendry after 5-6 months, which is a remarkable turnaround, because I saw something in Jack that I could have matured here and helped bring to the fore. He came up here and showed how good a player he was. I don't think I need to tell anybody how good a player Steven is. What I need to do is bring that to the surface again here, and like everyone else, it was always my intention to try and build something here. To get Steven on an 18-month contract is a remarkable piece of business as far as I'm concerned. If Steven goes and plays well, I'm no ignorant to the fact that there'll be people knocking my door to try and take him from us. But while he's here, while Jack was here, while the other lads here is performing, we enjoy him. And then it'll get to the stage, as I said, this is the end goal for me, where we can start actually saying, no, we don't need that, because we've sold a couple of players. We can keep them and we can add to them, and people actually want to come and join us because we're doing good things. That's the aim.
Quite happy that this.
Steven said he was one of the key aspects of coming here was wanted to work for a caring, understanding boss. Do you feel that's important, that you are close to your players, that they can
have to be?
Anything?
Yeah, I think you have to be. I remember Sir Alex Ferguson speaking about you have to be almost like a friend, like a psychologist, because every player has a different makeup and come in with different problems, whether it be something so mundane that's happened the night before, and you have to be able to look at a player and think, there's something up with him today, pull him aside. But you have to be very open. It's not just all about tactics and knowing the game. You have to be able to know your players, and listen, sometimes players will be unhappy with me, no choosing them, criticising them, and that goes all hand in hand with being a football manager. You're not just a head coach, you have to manage, and I enjoy that aspect of the game, I must admit. But everybody gets that service. It's not just Steven's walked in the door, it's just not Jack Hendry and Glenn Kamara and Rory Deacon and Scott Allen, all these boys that come in during the door. I have to offer that service to everyone, should they want to speak.
Do you see, from what you've seen of him so far, any discussions you've had, can you see him playing some part at the weekend?
Well, I'm not going to give my team away, but he's certainly fit and able, as I said, should that conversation happen with me and him that he wants to be involved tomorrow. I'd love him to be involved, but as I said to you, it has to be a mutual conversation where we agree on that. So we've got a long rest of this season to go. There's lots of games to play for, points to be won, and rounds to go through. So listen, he's not just in for tomorrow, he's in for a duration.
How important is the Scottish Cup to Dundee?
Well, it's huge. You asked me that yesterday, and it was always a goal of mine to be competitive in the cup competitions. I've been blessed to win this trophy a few times, and I said to the players, things come and go, but memories of winning trophies linger long in the memory, not only if you do it, but in the fans as well. But it's important to the club because we want to be competitive. Finances aside, like to go through the rounds, of course, is good for the club in terms of that reward, but the biggest reward is that you're competitive and you're going towards the latter stages of the trophy. But it'll be a real difficult game tomorrow, and we know that. But they've had every bit of information today. We've prepared really well, and then, like it is every week, it's up to them when they take the field.
Is it the sort of game, Neil, given the way Motherwell play, you might have to kind of win the battle first before winning the game?
I think you have to win every battle, no matter who we come up against. I don't think we've come up against a side, and if you consider Celtic to be the best footballing side in the country, they're physical as well, so that's a given. You have to match the intensity and effort of every team. I wouldn't. Yeah, I've been asked this question before about is Motherwell overly physical, or are they any more physical on the other sides? Each team has its own attributes, but Motherwell are a right good footballing side. They've got a physicality about them which we need to match, but we need to match them in terms of their effort. But we're a good side as well. We let ourselves down against Ross County. I'm looking for a reaction.
Yeah, how important is it to bounce back straight away after Ross County?
Well, of course it's important, and not just to me and not just to the players, to show that their disappointment of that performance and result. But the fans who turned up to see us at the weekend did not deserve that type of performance, and the fans that will turn up tomorrow to watch us play deserve a better one, and I'm determined that the players are determined to give them that.
Team news, how's that shaping up?
Moosa's back fit, which is great news. He's back in contention. Josh Meekings is touch and go. He did a lot of great work with Jerry today, the physio. It's been a real unfortunate one for Josh. It's sort of probably gone on a little bit longer than what we'd have hoped. Try to think of any other ones who've been missing recently. Jensy's had a 90 minutes under his belt, new addition to the team, which I haven't spoken an awful lot about. And he looks again like Steven, like Simon, really starting to integrate between the squad. So he comes into contention for a place tomorrow.